I'm Laura Ansell, and this is a North Port Newsbreak. Since 2004, the President of the United States and Congress have declared the month of October to be Cyber Security Awareness Month, a dedicated month for the public and private sectors to work together and raise awareness about the importance of cybersecurity. Here to tell us more about that topic and what you should know to reduce your risk at home is Rosalie Sanders, the Security Administrator for the City of North Port. Welcome, Rosalie.
Hi, Laura.
Hi, how are you today?
I'm good. Has anybody ever tell you you should be on the radio?
No, but I'll take that compliment.
You have the voice.
Oh, well, thank you.
I
Thank
definitely
you.
don't.
Oh, no, you're doing great. All right, so Rosalie, can you tell us what cybersecurity is?
All right. This is probably going to get technical, so I'm going to try to make sure people understand. But essentially, cybersecurity is the protection of internet-connected systems, so computers, softwares, and data from cyber threats. The practice is used by individuals and enterprises to protect against unauthorized access to data centers and other computerized systems. So there's an increased number of users, devices, and programs in the modern enterprise, combined with the increased deluge of data. And a lot of it is actually sensitive or confidential information. We have a lot of employee information in our systems. We have a lot of employee sensitive and confidential information in our system, vendors, citizens. So it's very important for cybersecurity to continue growing in our environment.
Okay, so at the end of the day, it sounds like it's all about keeping our data safe.
Yes, that's exactly what it is.
Okay, interesting. So why should our listeners care about cybersecurity awareness?
People need to care because, first off, cyber attacks, they don't discriminate. They're going to go after anything they can get their hands on. It doesn't matter if you're public government, if you're federal government. It doesn't matter if you're a small private business, if you're a public school, anything that they can get into. They're like little cockroaches, right? They're going to look for that little spot that they can crawl into and they can get hands on.
Oh, yeah, and where there's one, there's always like so many more.
So if one can get in, it's going to multiply. If we don't put a trap, if you don't stop them, they're going to reproduce, they're going to duplicate. So it's very important to understand that. And then sensitive data is becoming more digitized. So, back in the day, it was all about paperwork. Nowadays, it's still paperwork, but it's all digital. Your spreadsheets, your Word documents, your PDFs, you scan your emails, everything like that. There's also a boom in e-commerce. So, with Amazon, with Walmart.com, with all of those websites, people are no longer shopping in stores and they're shopping online. So that's another area that you have to be really careful of, with financial fraud, fake websites that are trying to steal your information, all that.
Okay. So what are some of the most common types of cyber attacks that our listeners should be on the lookout for?
So the biggest one would be social engineering. So social engineering actually relies on human interaction, but also phishing, vishing, and smishing, which is SMS.
That's a lot of ishings.
There's a lot. I think people are very gullible. Sometimes when they get an email, they get a text message, they get a phone call. Like one example that I get a lot is my USPS package cannot be delivered until they confirm my address. Now, if I know I'm not expecting a USPS package, I'm like, well, this is not correct because I'm not expecting anything. But there's a link they want you to click on and then enter your name, your phone number, your address, right? So they're all trying to steal your personal information that way. Sometimes they might send you like, oh, you have to pay a fee for it to be delivered, enter your credit card information, correct? So that's a lot of easy attacks that a lot of people tend to fall for. Malware is another form. Malware is a software, a malicious software, in which a file or a program can be used to harm a computer. So think about like a Trojan horse. You get an email with a file attached to it, right? If you're not expecting the file, or if it looks legitimate, people will click on it. Now, inside the file, there's a virus or there's a malicious software that will spread into your computer once you click on it. Another form of cyber attack is actually insider threats. Insider threats are security breaches or losses caused by humans. So an example would be former employees, contractors, or customers that have some kind of information on what's going on, and they use that to be malicious or negligent against the company. If somebody gets fired leave on a bad note with a manager, they might try to do something stupid to try to cause, a mess with the city.
Yeah. So it sounds like it's important to have protocols in place and things like, oh, hey, if you get a link and you're not expecting it, don't click on it. Or if someone's leaving, have protocols to lock down your systems, right? So what are some other tips that our listeners can take away from you of how they can stay safer online?
The biggest one is to always use a strong password and to change them regularly.
Password should not be my password.
So yes, password. You should always use a passphrase. Actually, it's easier to remember. So you can use a whole sentence, right? You can use an example would be, my cat is a sweet potato because, she's fat and she's fluffy.
And she is adorable for all our listeners. She is definitely a sweet potato.
But what I'm going to do to make it more secure is now I can remember, okay, my cat is a sweet potato because she reminds me of a sweet potato. But what I'm going to do is instead of using an A, I'm going to use the @ symbol. Instead of using an E, I can use like the number 3. Instead of using a O, I'm going to use a 0, right? I'm going to use like a special character like exclamation mark because I'm saying she's a sweet potato, things like that. You can also use MFA where applicable, and you can actually use MFA on Facebook. You can use MFA on your bank account. You can use MFA on your email. If you didn't know that, for example, my Gmail, if I sign into it from a new device, it's going to send me a code to my number. It's going to send me a code to my backup email or anything like that.
So is that why all these new profiles I have everywhere are asking for my phone number to send me a text so I can log in with the code? Is that...
Absolutely. So if somebody tries to sign into it, you're going to get a code on your phone unless they, steal your phone from you. But then again, your phone should have a passcode, so they can't get to it.
Okay.
Keeping devices up to date on software is really important. So like iPhones, I'm a iPhone user, so I stay up to date on software. Usually I stay one behind just because the new software could also have some vulnerabilities. So always stay either up to date or one behind. But that's very important. They push out software for a reason. Always beware of phishing emails, always look for red flags, and always verify the source, which we discussed previously. Don't connect to public Wi-Fi. So that's a big one. Public Wi-Fi can be really useful if you don't have unlimited data, which nowadays...
Yeah, so like public Wi-Fi at the beach, how do we feel?
No.
Okay, no public Wi-Fi at the beach, you guys.
And I'm going to go more into this is because of an attack called Men in the Middle.
Oh.
So if you haven't heard that. So sometimes people will go to a Starbucks and they're going to boot up their computer and they're going to host their own Wi-Fi that's going to say guest Wi-Fi or Starbucks guest. And what's going to happen is people are going to be like, oh, guest Starbucks Wi-Fi. I'm going to connect to that so that I can go on Facebook or I can check my emails or I can do schoolwork or even, work. But what's going to happen is they're going to connect and it's an actual Wi-Fi spot. So you're going to get internet access. What you don't know is the person who booted that Wi-Fi can see everything that you're doing and they can steal all your information, right? So a huge recommendation is don't use public Wi-Fi in airports, hotels, cafes, restaurants, stores. Just always be careful. A lot of restaurants do have guest network, but they actually have a password and you can ask for that password and they'll give it to you, and that's a legit public Wi-Fi.
So a red flag might be if you're trying to log in, you think you're on a guest Wi-Fi, but there's no password, abort. Get out of there.
Most of the time, not everybody does it, so I can't say don't do it. I'm just saying be really careful what you connect to and what you do while you're connecting to it. Don't connect to a Wi-Fi and then go to your bank, on your bank app or anything like that. Just be really careful. I know that Starbucks, as an example, is when you sign into the guest network, a pop-up page will come up and they'll ask for your email.
Sure.
So that's usually legit. I don't know that a Man in the Middle attack will have that sophisticated landing page. For example, the public network here at the city, when you connect to it, it says, you have to accept the user agreement. Yeah.
Fascinating. Okay, so what are some of the security measures that business owners or managers can implement to improve their own cybersecurity?
For business owners, get a really good antivirus software. Depending how big your business is, educate your staff, make sure that they are aware. Always keep your software up to date. Keep data backups separate from your network. So if you have any financial data that you need to keep for your business, just make sure that you have some kind of backup that's not on your network, or maybe, even an external storage that you can get back to if you are breached. Make sure to change your passwords regularly. If you're a small business owner and you have, a router in your business, in your office, don't have admin password as your login. Just make sure you go in there and you change it. And most of the time when you have, Verizon, Xfinity, whomever come and set it up, you can ask them, hey, how do I change my password, my admin password? And they will help you with that. And again, use 2FA where possible.
Okay. And 2FA, is that the multi-factor authorization we talked about earlier?
Yeah, so it's called two-factor and it's called multi-factor. A two-factor usually is just, you have your password and then you have a code. Multi-factor can be you have your password, then you get a push notification, you get a phone call, you get a text message, or you get an email notification.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, hey, thank you so much for joining us today, Rosalie, to share your expertise on this topic. Cybersecurity awareness is essential for everyone in today's digital world. Thank you all for listening, and we hope to catch you on the next North Port Newsbreak.